everyone, welcome to my kitchen. So today I uploaded a video of me eating my breakfast, and I also have some kimchi, that I made myself. And Chris721, shout out to you that you requested how I made the kimchi, and so here is how I make it. It's a really simple recipe. It's not. I'm not from Korea, but I've seen videos of Korean making their kimchi. It can be complicated with a lot of ingredients that we don't usually have in the household. But I just make this my own style with really simple ingredients. And here are the ingredients. So first thing you want to buy is Napa cabbage. So I just bought this one here. So it's called NAPPA, Napa cabbage. And you can find it at your Asian grocery store. And I bought this at $3.76, so it's pretty cheap, I think. And this is a big head of Napa cabbage. And then you will also need some carrots if you want it in your kimchi, and some green onion. I think you can have like 2 or 3 spring onions, but we don't have that much, so I'll just use one of these spring onion. And I have 3 cloves of garlic, and I have some glutinous rice flour. So I bought this quite a long time ago, and it's been sitting there for such a long time, and it just occurred that it will be used in this recipe, and it's called glutinous rice flour. And we'll use this to make a porridge to just put that cabbage in. And you'll also need some sugar and some salt. I have some sea salt here. And also, of course, some red pepper powder. So I have 2 kinds of red pepper powder here. This time is just really fine powder, but this one, besides the fine powder, also have the seeds in it. I think I will just use both kind. And so these are what I brought from China. So we bought this from home and brought it here. And I saw that in the recipe videos they have Korean red pepper flakes. It's their red pepper powder. If it is of great quality, it will be really red in color, and it just looks so appetizing. And so if you can afford that, and if you wanna make it really pretty, you can use that. But we have these on hand, so I'll just use these Chinese red pepper powder and flakes. And that's it. Those are the ingredients we'll need. So this is how you're going to chop your cabbage. It's really depending on how you want your cabbage to be. You can first chop this end off, and then so you can. If you want to work with several pieces of leaves, you can do that like this. Just put them together, and then you can cut it in the middle, and then just into smaller pieces, usually chunks like this big. Should be good. And if you are working with a whole head of this cabbage, you can just do it like this. So it's just yeah, I actually don't usually do it like this, but okay, cut like this. This looks pretty good, and then chop it up. So next step, after you have chopped up all your cabbage, you can just wash it. And the main thing is to wash off the dirt. So just wash it really thoroughly under the tap water, like so. So, yeah, just rinse it really good. So everyone, after you wash your cabbage, the next step is to add the salt and to let the brine come out and let all the cabbage juice come out, so it doesn't take up that much space, and so it's wilted a little bit. So this bowl is a little bit small, so I will just transfer it in here. You just add some cabbage in here, and then add salt to it. And then some more cabbage. And so you can see that the salt are on there. And then we just mix it well. Mix it, get your hands into it, and just mix it well. So we want the salt to be everywhere and coat this cabbage so that the juice will start to come out. So next step, we're going to make the porridge that we are going to soak these cabbage in. Right now I have maybe a cup or more, just some water in here. It just depends on how much cabbage you have. And then I have this glutinous rice flour. I think I'll probably add about 2 tablespoons in here. One, two, maybe some more. Probably enough. And then turn on the heat to high and then just let everything dissolve and then let it heat about 2-3 minutes until it gets just like into a porridge, very thick consistent. So right now it's been heating for maybe 2 minutes, and then you see that it's already getting pretty thick. But we want to just heat it a little bit more and turn it to medium heat, and then we want to add some sugar to it. So this sugar and this porridge will just be maybe 2 tablespoons of it. Will just be all the good things that the good bacteria is going to feed on. Now they're going to eat this porridge, and then they produce the acid and the good stuff for you. So just keep stirring it until it gets a little bit more transparent. So you see that this porridge has been sitting there for a while. I just want it to cool down to room temperature, because all the bacteria that are living on the surface of a cabbage now, they don't want to be just heated to death. So we want to just let it go to room temperature where the cabbage the temperature where the bacteria will like to be. And then we want to add some the red pepper powder into it. It really depends on how spicy you want your kimchi to be. These powder are really spicy, so I don't want to add a lot of that. I think that should be enough. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah. Good. I think that should be enough. And then you want to mix it well together. Okay, and so now these cabbages have been sitting there for about 20 minutes, and you can let them sit there for longer, and you see that the juices are coming out, and we want to just wilt it a little bit. And this one has more water in it, and once it becomes like this, you can just wash it off with some water. Just wash it off. Wash it real good, because right now there are a lot of salt on it. We don't want that much salt, so just wash it a few times. So I have washed this cabbage, and then you can just add the things that you want to add. Like I have some carrots in here that and then I also have some green onion and the garlic. So you want to add them all into there, and then just add this porridge. Pour this porridge on here. Good. So you can mix it a little bit. It's better if you use your hands, and if you're afraid that the red pepper is going to hurt your hands, then just put on a glove. But I think I'm okay, so just give it a really good massage and let that porridge coat everything inside this bowl here. See? Like this. You know, it's not as pretty as other kimchi recipes, but it tastes real good. That's what matters. So everyone, this is ready, and we can just put them in the jar, whichever container that is airtight, that can be airtight. Just put it in there. And I use these 2 glass jars for making the kimchi. So I want to just explain a little bit what is happening in here. So I'm actually teaching a microbiology lab, and in that lab we make sauerkraut. And I started making sauerkraut in my own home too, and then I think I could make kimchi too, so I started making kimchi. And they are actually the same, they're working the same way. So on the surface of the cabbage, you have a lot of bacteria, and they can just use the goodness inside the cabbage and also the sugar and the rice flour that we add to it. They can ferment, use them to ferment, and they will produce acid and some aromatic substances, which will make it have the fermentation like the real good taste. And the thing is, so right now it's just fresh kimchi. You can eat it this way. It just won't have the acidic flavor or the fermented the sour flavor, but it's just fresh kimchi. And if you want to enjoy it, you can just leave it on the countertop, airtight, for 2 days, 2 or 3 days maybe, and then it will be ready. And you can store it in the fridge afterwards, and it will be there it won't expire. It will just be there forever. And one thing is, you want to just press it down really good, because really the fermentation needs to be anaerobic. There shouldn't be much like gas inside there. Just press it down really good. And this time I didn't chop the carrots really good, but it will do. It will just be bigger pieces. And once you put this all in there, you can just put some tag on, make it pretty. And that's it. Alright, so now I've put it in the jar and close it really tight, and then put some tag on it, and it's ready. So you can wait a few days and then eat it, and it won't expire. It will just keep on fermenting. And some of you might wonder that you just work with your hand. Is your hand clean enough that you're going to eat those cabbages? So actually you don't need to worry about that, because when it's fermenting, the major bacteria is going to grow up, and the acid that it's producing is just basically inhibiting everything else, and only the major bacteria is going to grow and produce the acid. So all other bacteria actually just dies off. And so this is how you make simple ghetto kimchi. And I'll see you next time.